So Shobha, were you affected by that hurricane? They're having one now down there, I think, right? So Shobha, were you affected by that hurricane?
Bhante, Bhante?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think I lost you for a minute. No, it is passing through our territory right now, and it's supposed to be the worst tonight.
But it's going to be coming by where you live?
Yes, it is. I'm laughing, but I'm sick of listening to the weather all day long, you know.
Yeah. They didn't tell you to evacuate?
Well, luckily we are not in the evacuation zone,
Oh, okay.
so most of us are, I don't think anybody from the community has gone anywhere.
So you're not right by the seacoast?
No, Bhante, um, yeah, living on the sea coast is I think especially in Florida, I think it's quite risky. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yeah. So we are expecting power outage. So I finished my dinner early in case I can't warm up my food, and let's see what happens. It may just, right now there is some wind and a lot of rain. So hopefully it will be just that and nothing stronger than that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with reciting the Namo Tassa and the three refuges for those who like to join that. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. So welcome, friends, to this Wednesday evening Dhamma discussion and meditation practice. So I hope that all of you are able to read some more through that book on the seven purifications. And last week we had finished up to the first five of those seven purifications. I'm not going to go over them, all again. except for maybe just the ones we did last week. So, basically the first two purifications are just learning how to, meditate, to start to meditate and to develop concentration and to weaken the five hindrances so that you're able to achieve a calm, stable and calm state of, concentration and awareness and being able to, sit for longer periods of time without pain. And then as you're able to do that, then naturally the mind is able to see things more clearly. And then, overcoming developing the right view and the overcoming the doubts about the Dhamma. And while you're doing these contemplations, you are developing more and more concentration and mindfulness. And then last week we talked about the purification or understanding what is the path and what is the right path and what is the wrong path. And basically the wrong path is basically getting distracted by the side effects of meditation, like seeing colored lights in your mind or even a white light, or getting intense piti in the sukha. That means getting attached to the jhana factors, maybe intense faith in which your understanding of Dhamma, even brings you to tears and so on. But also, if you develop any, ideas that, you've attained deeper states than maybe you have, because that is possible, being under the sway of certain types of insights and subtle delusions. So anyway, as you keep on practicing, you begin to see how, concentration alone is not the practice, but it's opening up the mind to the flow of impermanence and basically switching over to the vipassana sort of development of the vipassana awareness, which basically means tuning into impermanence. So then that comes to the sixth of the seven purifications is actually called knowledge and vision of the way. And that is, having overcome the doubts and understood what is not the path of the distractions. The mind is firmly focused and tuned in to the flow of impermanence, and seeing how quickly the various phenomena, the six sense stimulations, even the five aggregates, are just arising and passing away very quickly. And so this is called the anicca sanya, the development of impermanence, which is the first knowledge. Insight knowledge is called the knowledge of arising and vanishing. That means the state of observing various sense stimulations, including your body sensations. So even usually we start with observing the rapid coming and going of various body sensations. Like first you're breathing your in-breath and your out-breath, and then maybe in one in-breath you see several sensations arising and vanishing very quickly, and with the out-breath you see several sensations arising and vanishing. And then the sounds might arise and vanish. Even while you're observing the breath coming and going, you notice various sounds that come, last a moment and vanish. and then other sensations in the body, some itches, body movements, and so on. So basically, you deliberately tune into that. You open up the mind to that, to flow of impermanence. This means you're no longer, trying to keep your attention only on the breathing, but you open the awareness to to feel how quickly the sensory vibrations are coming through the body and mind, because how our brain operates. And so this knowledge of arising and vanishing is the name given, one name given to it is the Yata Bhuta Jnana Dasana, or seeing reality as it is. And, most of you, through your understanding or our previous study, you know that the three characteristics of the Buddhist teaching are anicca, dukkha, and anatta, or that all the five aggregates are impermanent, and if you try to cling to things that are impermanent, not wanting them to change, then that brings, confusion and various types of suffering, disappointment. So that means the understanding the unsatisfactory nature of depending your life on things that are constantly changing, and sort of identifying them as being, me or mine, because we understand we have no control over it. And so in this focused Vipassana awareness, you see how things are just coming and going on their own. You're not really doing anything. And you're turned into the present moment. And of course, then through understanding anicca and dukkha, then you gradually begin to understand anatta. And so this arising and passing away, the knowledge of arising and passing away, it depends on, the five hindrances having been subsided, and the mind, developing the vipassana jhana, or the momentary concentration, where it's just noting each stimulation coming and going, but without clinging to it, without thinking about it, without dragging in the past and the future to any of the things that we're feeling, hearing, even thoughts going through the mind. They're just coming and going, and you deliberately try to observe. The more you can observe, the less time the mind has to cling to any particular ones, or to bring in the past or the future related to any of the things that are coming through your senses. So it's you have to deliberately kind of open up to that. So it's kind of differently than just keeping your mind focused on just one particular thing, like the spot of the breath at the tip of the nose, or a white light in your mind, or something else. But it's, it's opening up, following the four foundations of mindfulness, and opening up to the Dhammanupassana. Anyway, so the first insight knowledge is where you begin to see this arising and vanishing really, really clearly. And there's so many different degrees. We can notice things coming and going, but it's kind of at a mediocre level. It's not that clear. But at a certain point, notice how the things are rising and vanishing so quickly that basically the mind is in the present moment. And so the past and the future thoughts of the past and the future basically kind of fade away, fade out of the mind. And we're just tuned into that present moment, that rapid present moment of arising and vanishing of the six sensory stimulations, or so many sensations in the body, but other senses as well. And so and you're seeing that the mind basically is operating in just these moments, mind moments of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and thinking that are coming and going at a super rapid pace. And because the mind is no longer trying to hold on to any of them or react to any of them, they begin to kind of disappear. And you see how there's no I or self in that either. Because the sense of I or me depends on the mind relating to things with identification and with the thoughts of the past and the future. So almost everything we experience, we are experiencing them in terms of our past memory of them and project, then identifying with them in the present moment, and then they vanish. So not thinking about them in the future. So that happens only when they're arising and vanishing so quickly. And then the sense of self even starts to fade away. Now, when we can maintain that long enough, so that's the knowledge of arising and vanishing, is that understanding that our mind is just made up of mind moments that are arising and vanishing. Again, like the analogy of a reel of film, the old-fashioned movie reels of film, which maybe in one movie there are many, many thousands of individual frames that are being run through the projector at a high rate of speed, and we don't see the spaces in between the individual frames of the movie reel. But if you put it on slow motion, if you've ever seen a movie reel on slow motion, then you begin to see how each of those frames is, you almost kind of can see that the passing, the constant passing of these individual pictures on a reel of film, or even in an animated, storybook. Fan the pages. One picture frame doesn't mean anything, but only when they're run together over and over, that the illusion of them being kind of a smooth flowing, consistent, real thing, then that is created in the mind. So that knowledge and the purification of knowledge, that insight knowledge into arising and vanishing, is understanding that that is the way the mind is operating. And ask any, scientist or neuroscientist, and they'll probably tell you, yes, that's true. That's the way it operates. So it's that clear seeing that is the knowledge of arising and vanishing, and being able to hold that and continue that concentration, that what's called momentary concentration, or vipassana jhana, is the mind that's fixed in that present moment awareness, just observing this consistent present moment of arising and vanishing. And as that builds up speed, you don't even see them arising anymore. It's almost like you just see them vanishing. Like if you ever looked in a kaleidoscope, a little child's toy of a kaleidoscope with a lot of little plastic bits in it. And, I haven't used one in quite a long time, but I remember when I was younger. All these things are just constantly moving and changing. Anyway, each moment is just vanishing so quickly, you don't even see it arising. You just see the vanishing. And it's like if you were out on a dark night, I heard they're having some meteor showers, from time to time. And if you've ever been out on a dark night looking up in the sky at a meteor shower, you see something catches your attention and it just kind of, it zips. All you see is it vanishing. You don't even see where it came from. You just see, it's vanished. And so, so there's no time to even think about it. And you're seeing many of them just vanishing like that. Or if you've ever seen tracer bullets, the bullet is going at the speed of a tremendous amount of speed, and you don't even, you see it, it's gone. So this is the kind of vipassana knowledge that is experienced when you have developed this this present moment awareness and tuning in and opening up the flow of impermanence. And it's called the dissolution. So the second insight knowledge, the first insight knowledge is the knowledge of how things are just coming and going very quickly. And being able to understand, okay, it came to the past, to the present, and now it's gone to the future. But the knowledge of dissolution is when things start disappearing in your mind. That means like the feeling of your body may disappear. It feels like you don't even have a body. And there's just awareness in a vast space, a mental space. And the feelings of body might still be there, but it's like they're not there. The sensations are there, but there's no container called a body or my body that's there. So that's destruction, and that dissolves within the consciousness, because it's just a creation of consciousness from the mental formations due to ignorance. So, and other things are, and the sense of yourself starts to fade away too. And so that's called the knowledge of dissolution, how everything is basically just, these moments of consciousness that are just rising, and our constructed world kind of dissolves. Like you might get to a point where you even forget where you are, and you don't even know it's upside down or backwards or forwards or anything. But there's an awareness, but it's like awareness of nothing and everything at the same time. But anyway, it's just that the mind is, so that our normal perception is kind of dissolved. So you can get glimpses of that. Usually when you're meditating, you might get a glimpse of, a fraction of a second or maybe a second or so where you had a feeling part of your body, you couldn't feel your hands anymore, or you couldn't feel some other part of the body. Or, there's noises going on, but you don't even know what they are. So that's the knowledge of dissolution. That basically it's understanding how the mind has created this sense of me in this world of objects is basically a creation of the mind. So that comes from that knowledge of dissolution, or bhanga jnana. And for those who have taken the Goenka courses, he mentions this bhanga jnana as being one of the insight knowledges, but it's that knowledge of things are just disappearing and vanishing. But it's all happening within the mind, because it's the consciousness is going through a radical sort of paradigm shift due to the previous development that you have been practicing, concentration and the four foundations of mindfulness, and the vipassana method of awareness. So those two are a very advanced level of meditation, and a lot of people don't get to that level because they don't have the right sort of conditions or the ability to stay focused for long periods of time, sometimes even 2 or 3 hours before the mind will get into this state, but not always. I mean, people are different. But anyway, so these two are the key factors in the mind sort of really understanding the Dhamma now. It's like this is what is called the Bhavanamaya Panya, the deep knowledge of the mind that comes out of the meditation. Before you had an intellectual understanding, you read about this, or you heard me talking about it, and then in meditation, maybe you saw a couple things, how quickly they came and go, but to be able to sustain that and seeing how everything coming through the senses is just coming and going, you have to be in a very concentrated state really to be able to observe that. Anyway, so the next, the third insight knowledge is actually the knowledge of terror. And this means you really see the dukkha. You see, because of this knowledge of the impermanence and how the mind has created, our whole world is the creation of our mind, essentially, out of the past and the future and the way we've been conditioned. You become, you see that we've been terrorized by Mara. Basically, Mara is the delusions in our mind. And we've allowed ourselves to buy into hook, line, and sinker into the various types of, conditionings and so on of whatever society and or belief systems that you might have had in the past, and especially the habits that you've created that cause you a lot of pain and suffering. You get, sort of, disillusioned with that, or basically, it's called the knowledge of terror. But it's not being afraid of the objects of the world. It's being afraid of your mind. You have a terrorist in your mind. So our ego, with its greed, hatred, and delusion, is like a terrorist. That means it's terrorizing us. It's causing us fear. Developing fear and anxiety and greed and hatred over really nothing. That we've allowed ourselves to develop these things, and then people become imprisoned by that. They become terrorized by their own thoughts, like people that are terrorized by their psychotic states or nightmares. All these things are just happening in the mind, and they cause a lot of suffering. And thinking that this world is going to buy you ultimate happiness and so on. And we've bought into that. So anyway, it's the knowledge of terror is just this, it's not like really terror, like afraid you're going to get robbed, but it's just it's a mental phase that you go through, and you're no longer so lured by the trappings of the external world and so on. And it's the desire to become free from that. So this that initial terror stage is just, people. A lot of times people get depressed and they think, oh, this whole world is horrible, and if some people might even it cause them to want to commit suicide, but that's a wrong understanding. That's getting into the wrong path, because now you're taking that depression as a permanent state in me. You're owning it. But the knowledge of terror is there's nobody that owns anything, and so actually it could bring joy, because it's the beginning of really letting go of the things that are keeping you trapped in your own mind. So this knowledge of terror, it kind of mellows out to the fourth knowledge, or the insight knowledge of danger. So now the danger is just a lesser degree of the terror. So there's an analogy, some way, the best way to understand these is by an analogy. So there's an analogy in the suttas about, let's say some robbers grabbed a person and were dragging them toward a big, like a charcoal pit or a bonfire, or a big pit of glowing coals, and they were threatening to throw you into that. And so you would be terrified, right? I mean, the average person would be terrified of getting burned or, death. But then maybe the robbers let you go, and you that, and now you just don't go near that anymore. The next time, you know that fire is hot, and so it's a danger, but you're no longer terrified by it, right? Because now you understand it, and so you don't get burned, and so you avoid going to the dangerous places. And so the knowledge of danger is that if you let yourself, get addicted to various things, that there's going to be problems. And so, you see the danger in becoming addicted to anything, whether it's food, drugs, sex, whatever. All these things lead to problems. And so you see the danger of, allowing yourself to get caught also in the web of karma. So that's called seeing the five aggregates, or the knowledge of the danger. It's not the world that's danger, it's the danger of your own mind, because you give in to your weaknesses, right? You try to do this or that, but you give in, and you repeat bad habits that you wanted to stop, and so on. So, it's all in our mind. These terror and danger. It's not in the outside world. That's a wrong understanding. It's in the mind. The whole of the dukkha and the dhammas in the mind. So that's an insight knowledge into that. And then just the one more I wanted to mention is the knowledge of, then you become disenchanted with the allure of the external world. That means you realize that it can no longer really, craving and desire and just chasing sensual pleasures, or getting caught up in your anger and hatred and wanting revenge of people and holding grudges. You want to become free of all that. And so you become disenchanted with the whole world of conditioning. And but that comes from this understanding these vipassana knowledges. Now I'm going to stop with that, with these insight knowledges of the of the danger, and then dispassion. Well, I'll mention one more, the desire for deliverance. So that means that's when you really become, you know, a good Dhamma practitioner. You know, you want to become, to cut all the various types of delusions and attachments in the mind that prevent you, that keep your mind just, running around in circles, or keep you from reaching because you experience a mental freedom. Even though you've gone through those other insight knowledges, terror and danger, there's a lot of joy in that, actually. And you see the freedom of the mind in that, too. So, you develop this desire to, make progress in the Dhamma, and especially knowing that, death could come at any time. And if we die with our minds still caught in the web of, paticca samuppada, or caught in that wheel of karma, then, what happens after death, we don't have much control over. So anyway, I want to stop here with that, because then see if any of you have any questions based on any of those things that you read about. And I hope you're able to read, through the book before this program, but if not, I encourage you to go back and reread them too. So it doesn't look like there's anything in the chat box. So let's see if anybody has any questions that they want to ask. You can raise your hand.
Bhante, I don't have a question, but can I put in a comment of my own experience?
Okay.
So I just wanted to share, recently I've been listening a lot to Thich Nhat Hanh, and this point that you mentioned about the dissolution of the self. He has a guided meditation which really resonates with that particular point. And I found it very useful and very sort of close to reality, where it is, first he invites the Buddha to breathe with our lungs and Buddha to sit with our back. And then slowly he leads us to Buddha breathing, Buddha sitting, and then he ends with nobody is breathing, nobody is sitting. Breathing is happening, sitting is happening. So I really found that very, really, it strikes home to what meditation is all about.
Well, you get to the very exact same experience just by developing the meditation that I teach every week. Just watching
Absolutely.
the body sitting and breathing.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
but different people have come up with different types of ways of reflecting and so on.
Right. So this particular thing, dissolution of the self, it's such a profound thing. Applying it in your own life, like I was talking about it in your last meditation session also. I think I particularly find it very, very useful, to applying it to your daily habits and things like that.
Yes, I mean that's why the M&Ms, stopping every hour for 1 minute, is to
Yeah.
bring your mind back to just standing, breathing, and letting go. Let that sense of the self, fade out of your mind. I mean, you can train yourself to do that at any time you wanted to. Actually, you don't have
Right.
to sitting in meditation for that. But, usually in a sitting meditation, it's easier to first get that experience. Later, it's done standing, walking, and sitting.
Yeah.
No other, no other questions? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then, well, before we begin our yoga and meditation, I just wanted to mention that on Friday I'm going out to the Bhavana Society in West Virginia to conduct a 4-day retreat with the title of the retreat, or the theme of the retreat, is awareness, or living and dying with awareness. And basically that, that's what I'm almost always talking about. And, in the meditation, being mindful and developing your mindfulness. And because if a lot of people, they used to call it, death awareness meditation. But, you have to know what living is before you can understand what dying is. So that's why I, changed the name of the retreat to the awareness of living and dying. Because if you really understand what living is, that means the living process, then you won't be afraid of dying. Because people are afraid of dying because they don't understand what life is, in terms of the life being just a continually changing process. So if you live with mindfulness, then you can die with mindfulness. Anyway, so that's the theme of the retreat. Okay,
So,
so
I'm sorry, there won't be any meditation next Wednesday?
no, I'll be coming back on Tuesday. So we probably we should have this Zoom program on Tuesday. And I might not be able to send out an email on Monday because I'll still be in the retreat and won't have access to my computer. So, if for some reason I are not able to send out one of the weekly mailing until either Tuesday evening or maybe Wednesday morning, but we should have next Wednesday. Yeah.
Bhante, in the retreat, would that be giving would that be being offered through Zoom, or is just for the
I think they do, but you have to contact the Bhavana Society. That's going to be done on their Zoom program, not mine.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, thank you.
But I'm not sure. I think somebody they do record it, and if at least some of it is on Zoom. But you need to inquire from them about that. Their Zoom channel. Okay. Okay, friends. So let's go ahead and take a short few minutes break, and then come back to do some stretches and then our meditation practice. So see you back shortly.
Bhante, we can't hear. At least our computer doesn't shows the sound, but yeah, you are muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my
It's
bad.
okay. That's okay.
Now we
Thank
got
you.
back to, okay. Get refocused in the body. Next, we'll do the side bending using both arms. So with an extend breath, raise both arms. And keep your fingers and arms straight, close to the head. On the out breath, bend over the right side. In breath, lift up. And the other side, out breath. Feel stretch in the side. In. Keep alternating sides with the breathing. Once more to each side. And the out breath, lower the arms. Keep feeling the body, especially the increased sensations in your hands and fingers. Feel the outline of the standing body, head on top, arms at the sides, feet pressing the floor. Remember standing. Next we'll do the squatting or knee bending. On the next in breath, lift up on the balls of the feet, raise the arms up front for balance. Out breath, bend the knees, lower down to the squatting position. And take a deep breath to push up. on the toes, in out breath.
කාටවත් කතා කරන්න දැන්.
In. Out. The out breath, relax. Feel the increased heartbeat,
කවුරුත් කියවන දැනට කරන්න දුවද ගන්න.
sensations. Okay, now spread the legs and feet apart, about 3 feet. Hold the arms out to the sides. Twisting from right to left. Breathe in. Out breath, twist to the right. Keep your eyes focused on the hand going back. In breath back to the front. Let your feet turn with the body and twist to the other side. Out breath. In breath front. Keep alternating sides like that with the breathing. Once more to each side. Relax. Just feel each foot pressing the floor. Just feel the clothing touching the skin. Feel all the vibrations. Now place the hands together at the chest. The in-breath, hands over the head. Out breath, hands to the chest, and bend it to the knees, lower the body down, try to keep the back upright. Breath up.
නෑ මේක ගොඩස් පෝස් මෙහෙම ගොඩස් පෝස්
Out.
මේක මොන පෝස්
Please mute yourself.
අර අරනෝ නැවිල්ලා කොහෙන්ද බණ්ඩා ෆිට්නස් කරනවා මේ වහන අර කියවන්නේ ශ්‍යාමද මොකක්ද
ඉන්දියන් එක
Whatever, कसा करणार?
Sanka, I think you're not muted. Now bring the legs back together. Do the head turning from right to left. The in-breath, head to right. Look over the right shoulder. The out-breath, all the way back to the left. Look over the left shoulder. In-breath, the right. Out-breath, left. Once more to each side. Let the head stop in the center, feeling the whole body. Another head and neck exercise. On the in-breath, raise your chin up and start looking upwards. Then on an out-breath, stretch the head further back and look up at the ceiling. In-breath, lift the head up and jet the chin out. And then press the chin with a little notch in the chest to stretch the neck vertebrae. In breath, lift the chin up. Out breath, stretch the head back. In breath, head up. Check the chin out, press the chest out, breath. Once more, in breath, lift the chin. Out breath. In breath. Out breath, press the chest. In breath, lift the chin up level. The out breath, relax, feeling the whole body. Remember standing, standing. Okay, just one last exercise, backward and forward bending. Turn the palms facing outwards so that your edges of your little fingers and hands touch. On the in-breath, raise the hands up level with your eyes. Begin spreading the arms out to the sides as you bend out on the out-breath, bend back. Carefully lift up on the in-breath. Keep the arms out at the sides. On the out-breath, lower the arms and hands down towards the floor. If you can touch the floor. Keep the legs straight, make little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Begin lifting up, turn the palms outward again, in breath, raise the hands up, out breath, spread the arms to the sides, bend back. In breath, lift up. Out breath, downward stretch. Once more, in breath. Out. In. Out breath. So hold the downward stretch longer. The little bones in the lower spine stretch out. And lift up. In breath, hands together at the chest. Out breath, hands to the sides. Feel the whole body. Start to feel that organic aliveness. The whole body, billions of cells, and then charged up with oxygen, stretch. Feel as though you were standing on a vibrating machine. Feel all those bodily vibrations from the soles of the feet up to the top of your head. Okay, let's come back to the seats. Get ready for the sitting. Okay, friends, get comfortable in the sitting position. Try to keep the back straight, feel the head balanced on top of the spinal column. Just gently close your eyes. Try to feel the outline of the sitting body in the mind's eye. Then begin some deep, slow breathing. Try to take 2 or 3 seconds to expand your abdomen, rib cage, and upper chest. Feeling the air coming up into the upper chest. Hold the air in for 2 seconds. And slowly breathe out. Try to feel the last bit of air go out of the lung. Just take several more deep, slow breaths like that, developing this mindfulness. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Okay, now we're going to try to count from 1 to 10 to develop a more continuous concentration on the breathing. I'll do the counting for you. Just try to follow that with your breathing and counting. So with the next expanding in breath, mentally count 1. Hold the breath 1 or 2 seconds. With the contracting out breath, also count 1. Feel the last bit of air go out of the lung. And next in breath 2. Out breath 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. Out 4. in 5, out 5, in 6, out 6, in 7, out 7, in 8, out 8, in 9, out 9, in 10, out 10. Now just continue the counting. Let your breathing return to its uncontrolled, shorter, irregular rhythm, but continue to feel it. You can either focus, try to feel the air as it touches the nostrils going in or out, or keep the attention focused on the expanding and contracting sensations, the abdomen, stomach, rib cage, or chest. Just be like a scientist looking down through a microscope, focusing on the breathing. Just knowing when the breath is coming in and knowing when the breath is going out. Try to feel the beginning, the middle, and the end of each in-breath. Notice the brief pause. Notice the beginning, the middle, and the end of each out-breath. And the brief pause before the next in-breath. The in-breath begins, lasts a second or two, stop. The out-breath begins, lasts a moment or two, stop. Into that arising and stopping, arising and vanishing of the in-breath and the out-breath. Turn up the power of the mental microscope to make it clear. If it helps to stay focused, you can use the brief mental notes of in, sitting, out, out, sitting, just over and over and over again. Just letting your thoughts come and go in the back of the mind. Just keeping those sensations of the breathing in the front of the awareness. If you have trouble feeling the breathing, continue to take some deeper breaths. Help feel the sensations more clearly. In, sitting, out, sitting. Start to feel the breathing process occurring within the larger sitting body. Especially on the out breath, feel the last bit of air go out of the lung. And the next in breath. Catch yourself lost in thoughts, recognize it as lost, or thinking, just let go of the thought. Take a deep breath, bring the mind back into the body. It's calm enough, and just feel the other sensations coming and going through that breathing awareness, through the body awareness. aches or pains, prickly sensations, heart beating. Be aware of the steady stream of thoughts moving in the back of the mind. Stay alert. From time to time, take a few deep, slow breaths. Help stay awake, centered in the breathing body. Breathing is always there in the middle. But around the breathing, you can notice other sensations coming and going. Maybe sounds arising and vanishing. Different thoughts or mental activities moving through the mind. They're all just coming and going through this breathing body awareness. It's the beginning of the Vipassana awareness. Try to notice how different sensations arise and vanish very quickly. Other sensations appeared more vague or seemed to last longer. Even while seeming to last, they're constantly changing. Just cultivate this insight. Breathing in, sitting. Breathing out, sitting. So many different sensations come and go. Sound come and go. Thoughts, ideas, visions come and go. It's all the constant flow of impermanence, the five aggregates, the body, mind, and senses. Arising and vanishing in their nature of impermanence. Different mind moments of hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, touching and thinking. Try to open up to that, or to see that clearly. The mind is calm enough, if you have a good awareness of the impermanent, just try to feel the body as being like an empty house with nobody at home to answer the call, knocking on the doors and windows. But there's a sensitive microphone in the house, the awareness that knows, but can't react or think. That present moment, centered awareness, body-centered awareness. Just let that any remaining little sense of I or me left in the consciousness, allow that to just fade away into the background, feeling more and more subtle vibration. What thoughts come into the mind from that sound vibration? Sabbe sankhara anicchati yada panyaya pasati atanibindati dukhi yesamango visuddhya. All conditioned things, the five aggregates of this body, mind, and world are impermanent. They arise only to briefly last and then vanish. When one sees this with the eye of wisdom, one becomes disenchanted with suffering. This is the path to freedom. Thus spoke the Buddha. I invite you to join in chanting the word sadhu 3 times slowly. We do the chanting on a long out breath, feeling those vibrations in the body and mind. And take a deep breath. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Now place your hands at the edge of your knees. Take one more deep breath. Breathe in, stretch your head back, pull the hands on the knees to arch backward. Lift the head up on an in-breath. On the out-breath, press the chin to the top of the chest to stretch the neck vertebrae. And lift the chin up level on an in-breath. And relax on the out-breath. Put a smile on your face.
Thank you so much, Bhante.
You're welcome. Okay, friends, so this brings our evening meditation to an end. And remember, try to practice the M&Ms, minutes of meditation during the day, during this next week. Try to continue your longer daily meditations if possible. Keep cultivating the insights into impermanence, no self. Okay, so Be well, be safe, be mindful, be wise. Hope to see you next week.
Thank you, Bhante.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Nisanka, kahumara.
Hyundai, Savanas.
Good.
Have a safe trip to Bhavana.
Yeah, I'm happy that you and Hemant are able to come down here for our Thanksgiving retreat next month. That you have a chance to go out and meet Bhante Ji too. And then... Okay, friends, so see you.